the beginning of the fruit program here at UConn. It's a little bit cloudy the further back you go, but we have been an agricultural institution since 1881. I'm not sure exactly when the first fruit trees went in. However, looking at historical photos, we can see that by the 30s, there is a substantial fruit orchard on UConn's main campus. Right around where Gamble Pavilion is, you would have seen at least 2 full blocks of tree fruit there. Forward to the 1950s, we can see that there was a shift, moving the fruit orchard from the main campus to an off-site location, and that's just because UConn is expanding, and that would become the Cold Spring Orchard. The Cold Spring Orchard was the most expansive orchard ever in UConn's history. There were a number of different fruit crops grown there. You had apples, peaches, smaller fruit as well, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries. There was a fair amount of research being done in that orchard for quite some time. We also had classes that taught students how to grow primarily apples at the time. In 1963, they kind of started running that orchard like a commercial fruit orchard. The fruit that was grown in that orchard was grown to be sold on UConn's campus. So that's where you have all these stories from the community and families. I used to go with my grandfather to UConn to buy the fruit right next to Gamble. The year 2000, a new department head came on and saw that this orchard that was once used for research and teaching and extension was only being used for producing food. So the decision was made for the Cold Spring Orchard to be shut down and have the trees ripped out. Here we are, so many years later, trying to revitalize the fruit program and reestablish kind of UConn as a leader in the fruit industry, and reestablishing an orchard here at UConn is going to be one of those first steps. So this is Cold Spring Orchard. This was definitely one of the locations that we considered when we were talking about establishing the new orchard. And as you can see, there's plenty of space. The main problem is that there's no deer fencing. This new site, it is a approximately 6-acre field. It's within the bounds of the Plant Science Research Farm. So we have a really nice deer fence around the whole area. And this is definitely the perfect place to reestablish a fruit orchard. It's close to an irrigation pond. It has power out here. What we want to do is install a highly diversified and high-tech orchard and small fruit vineyard operation. Thinking things like tree fruit, so apples, pears, peaches, cherries. As far as small fruit goes, blueberries, grapes, strawberries. You can go a little bit deeper into some of those more niche fruit crops, so kiwi berry, honeyberry, aronia, sea berry. We're really excited to just get all this stuff installed here so we can not only undertake some research on all these different fruit crops, but really start to educate Connecticut as a whole. The new UConn fruit orchard has the potential to benefit many different departments and colleges within the university. This orchard will be used primarily by the Plant Science Department for teaching, research, and extension. However, we are growing food here, so there's going to be plenty of opportunity for there to be collaboration with, say, nutritional sciences, food sciences, collaborations with the dairy bar on new ice cream flavors. We're even talking about things like wine grapes or cider varieties of apples. And the engineering department has a brewing science class. It's just going to be a lot of opportunities for collaboration and growth. This orchard could be around for the next 50 to 100 years if it's well maintained. We did have this really extensive fruit program, and then we went through this lull. Now Connecticut and UConn are back saying we're going to be a leader in New England, and we're going to have just a really nice, robust plant science fruit program that we haven't seen here in decades.